Boarding a cruise ship can be very stressful. It's something you may have planned for weeks or months or possibly even years. And when the day finally comes, you may forget something, something may go wrong. It can be very stressful. So what we're going to do today is go over some tips for you to have a very smooth embarkation day. Hey Trippers, I'm Bobby Boomer. I'm the head tripper here at SeniorTrippers.com. And today we are going to talk about embarkation tips. When it's finally time to board that cruise, we're going to give you a couple dozen tips today that will make it a smooth day. You'll get right on that ship. You won't have stress. So let's get right into it. Now, my first tip is, if at all possible, you want to arrive at least a day early. This is 2022, and in this time, people are missing cruises because flights are canceled, flights are delayed, baggage is lost. It's a mess right now to travel. So the last thing you want to do is have your flight late and you're thinking, oh, if we land, we only have an hour to get to the port, yada, yada, yada. Come in a day early. My wife and I are going on a cruise in another week, and we actually changed from 1 day early to 2. So we are going to land in Florida 2 days before our cruise. We're giving ourselves plenty of time. Now, I know not everybody can do that, and I'm fortunate that we can do it. We've got the time. We've got the ability to do that. So we're just going to have a relaxing day around the hotel, maybe go tour the city, and spend 2 nights in a hotel, get up on the third morning, and go to the port. So that's my first tip. If at all possible, try and arrive at the port a day early. Now, we all have to take COVID tests. There's different ways to do it. My suggestion is to do one of those proctored tests and do it from the hotel. If you're flying in or driving in, do it before you leave home. It has to be done for most cruise lines 2 days before boarding. So if you're boarding on a Sunday, you want to do it on a Friday or a Saturday, or you can even do it on Sunday morning. Some people will go to a Walgreens or a CVS or some type of facility like that and have it done, and then the results are emailed to them. I prefer the proctored test, where we could do it from a hotel room. I've done this 6, 7 times. It's painless, it's easy, it takes 15 minutes, boom, it's done. You get an email minutes later saying that you passed. So arrange for that proctored test so that you have that all done and out of the way. Now, they're going to send you an email. When you pass the test, you'll get a digital email. Print that email out. Sometimes you're at the port, and even though you have a digital copy, it may be hard to find it. Maybe you don't remember what folder you put it in, or was it an email? Was it a text? Print it out. Have a printed copy as well as a digital copy. I've been doing this for years. I know I'm old school, but I print out boarding passes. I print out everything, and I also have it on my phone. I try and use the phone if I can, if it's handy, but I know I've got a backup in a folder in my luggage. Now remember, when you get to the port, you need your COVID vaccination card. Don't forget that at home. They need to actually see the physical card. So make sure you bring your vaccination card with you. Have it in all of your papers. Most cruise lines also require that you fill out a health questionnaire before boarding. Do that a day before. Do it at the hotel. Do it on the airplane. Do it over the phone app, and fill out that questionnaire, because when you get to the port, they're going to require it. And if you don't have it done, it's going to be step aside, go over there and fill it out. So make sure you have that all filled out. Now, if you have special needs, such as a wheelchair, things like that, contact the cruise line, contact the port before you leave home, and make sure that they're ready for you. There are lots of wheelchairs there, but there's not a lot of people handling them. So if they know you're coming, they will make arrangements to make sure that they are there to help you. You could be in that line for up to an hour. A lot of these port facilities do not have chairs to sit in. You can be standing on your feet. If that's cumbersome for you, make sure that you get a wheelchair. Make sure you contact them in advance and have it waiting for you. Now, before you leave home, research transportation options. We're staying at a hotel about 3 miles from the port. We're going to take an Uber to the port. I've already checked it out. I know kind of what the prices are. Many hotels near ports, they have shuttle buses. So just make sure you have that all done. You don't want to be worrying about that the morning of the cruise. Now, we're sailing next week out of Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. And to get on that port, to get through security gates, you need to show a boarding pass and ID. So even if you're in a cab or an Uber, you have to have that handy. So make sure it's handy. Make sure it's not in the luggage in the trunk of the Uber, because you need to show that to the person at the gate before they let you onto the facility. Now, I told you I print out everything, but the things I keep digitally, I put in a Google Drive. I know exactly where they are. They're separated. I have everything in there to deal with the cruise. Tours, expeditions, receipts, everything. It's all in a Google file. So put everything in one file. Now, when you download the app from the cruise ship, you can book a lot of things. You can't book shows or entertainment, usually, but you can book other things. You can book excursions. You can book packages. So book what you can before you leave home, because you don't want to miss out on things. Now, when I go cruising, I have a carry-on bag and a backpack. I take both with me. They never leave my sight. I know some people don't like taking luggage on a ship. They'd rather have a porter take it and have it delivered. I'd rather have it in my hand. So make sure that you have all your papers where you can quickly get them. I keep them in my backpack. I keep them in a zipper. I know exactly where they are. Whenever somebody asks me for something, I know it's in that zipper. Remember, in your luggage, you can't bring on certain items. You can't bring on an iron. You can't bring on candles. You can't bring on sharp objects. You can't bring on incense. So check all that out. Make sure that they're not going through your bag and going, oh, come on over here, we got a problem. Just be prepared. Don't try and take anything on the ship that you're not allowed to. Now, a lot of cruise ships allow you to bring 2 bottles of wine, 1 per adult per cabin. Or if there's 3 adults, I guess you could bring 3 per cabin. So have that handy. They're going to want to see it. They're going to want to double check, make sure it's wine and not whiskey or something. Have that in an area in your luggage where you can quickly pull it out and show it to them. So once on board, my suggestion is go as quickly as you can to the cabin. I know not all cruise ships allow it. Some say you have to wait till 1 or 1:30. I know a lot of cruise lines say that, but they really don't care. Carnival's one that I think of. You can go to your cabin as soon as you get on. And I was told by a Carnival employee to do that. My cabin was open, put my luggage in there and left. So you want to do that as quickly as possible. Check everything. Check the air conditioning, check the lights, check the plumbing. Just make sure everything works, because if it doesn't, now's the time to get that fixed. You don't want to be doing that at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock when guest services will be jammed. Once you get on the ship, put your phone in airplane mode. I've learned this the hard way. You will get a huge bill if you're not in airplane mode. So put your phone in airplane mode as soon as boarding. Also change your time settings so that you're not automatically adjusted per time zone. You want to stay on ship's time. Ship's time many times is different than the local time zone that you're in. So make sure you stay on ship time. You don't want your phone automatically adjusting as you go from port to port to port. Here's a tip for you. The main dining room can make reservations for you at specialty restaurants. If you go to lunch in the main dining room, have them make those dinner reservations, those lunch reservations. They can do it at all specialty restaurants. In fact, all specialty restaurants can make reservations for all other specialty restaurants. So you don't have to go to a particular specialty restaurant to make a reservation. Here's another tip regarding specialty restaurants. They're not too busy on boarding days. That evening they'll be busy, the next day, but the first day, lunch, afternoon, they're not that busy. So now's the time to go check them out. Check out their menus, see if you want to eat there. So once I've done all that, I then go explore the ship. I want to check out everything. I walk around, I look at the menus at special restaurants, I look at all the facilities. Things are open that may not be open later. The spa will be open. They'll be happy to see you. They want to give you a tour. Take the free tour. Other things that could be closed or you need a special pass will be open. So go check out the ship. Now's the time to really look around and get familiar with the ship. Once on board, you can connect to the Wi-Fi. It's free. You don't need the internet package to connect the Wi-Fi to your phone. So connect to the Wi-Fi, and then you can make reservations for shows. You don't want to miss out on entertainment by not having a reservation. So as soon as you get on board, soon as you're settled, connect to the Wi-Fi, make your reservations. Now, I mentioned guest services. Regarding guest services, unless it's really a big issue, I would avoid guest services if at all possible on day one. At 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there is going to be a huge line, I guarantee it. So unless it's an emergency, just wait till that evening. It's open 24 hours, so if you're up at 11 o'clock, you can probably go by there and there's very few people in line. So if it's not an emergency, go to guest services later. So those are just some tips of mine to help you out on embarkation day. If you do these things, you will have a smooth day. Things may go bad, just relax, take a breath. It's all going to work out. Before you know it, you'll be on the ship, you'll be in vacation mode. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, I would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring that bell next to the subscribe button so you'll find out whenever we do an update on anything new. I'm Bobby Boomer, head tripper at seniortrippers.com, signing off.